the freeway doing 0. I was exaggerating. I really was doing 1 mile an hour. So, hey, how fast are you going? 1? What, 100? No, 1. But LA, I decided to do some side hustles on my way home from a
You're in
thing.
a 6-minute slowdown. You're still on the best route.
Anyway, said that I was driving down the road, and I thought, well, I can get stuck in traffic for the next hour, or I can get off the freeway, or just not get onto the freeway, and do some delivery, because my house was about an hour away, but it said the drive time was 2 hours, and then they said there's a 1 hour slowdown due to an accident and some construction. So I thought, I'm gonna get off the freeway. I'm not going to get on the freeway. I'm just going to deliver for my side hustle and see if I can make any money. And guess what? In an hour and 15 minutes, I took 5 deliveries. That's a lot. A good hour is 2.5 deliveries. 3 is too much, because I want 3 or 4 deliveries an hour. Now, unless those are doubles from the same restaurant, and you get double, and it's to the same. Like been able to do like 6, because one lady forgot to order drinks, so she counted for 2 orders. I had her food order, then she had to do a second order for her drinks, and then I ended up doing 6 in an hour. That's crazy. But this, I did 5 in an hour and 15 minutes. So do the math, you can see how many I did, but made some good money. Then I got I can't really tell you what it is, but I do have a really good national commercial that's coming out, and then I'm going to be filming, and then I'm having a Most Favored Nations, which is this Screen Actors Guild, and I think it also goes to the government, gives favored nation status to certain countries, and I got that today too. Basically, I got 2. One was off of an audition I did yesterday. I can't tell you about that. And then the one I got confirmation on, the Most Favored Nation, or Favored Nation. I don't know if it's Most Favored Nation, Favored Nation. I don't know if that was for the. Someone just said something. Let's see what it says. Someone says, "Hi, Alan." Hey, Alan. Hey, nobody. But anyway, driving down the freeway. Because is it safe to drive down the freeway and talk on the phone? In my opinion, yes, it is. I got this light thing across my eyes because I got the light on here, so I don't. I'm in the dark. We're about to have rain. There's lots of it. It's going to rain Thursday through maybe Monday. Someone else just came in and said, can you say, oh no, I cannot, whatever it is. I don't know. I think people tell me to say, I don't know what you're saying on here. I don't know if I can. I'll have to do things like, just a quick glance. We're right now doing, we got up to 20 miles an hour on the freeway. I was going freeways, but free of what? Free of lights, I guess. Can't say expressway, because it's not an expressway. Maybe highway, I don't know. So it's like Grandpa Joe. Okay, I don't know. Okay, that's all about. Okay, by the way, if you're saying things that are inappropriate, I have found a way that I can check those, and I'll just go ahead and block you and report you. I'll report you to the, because we don't want to say inappropriate things on here, because our channel, although it's not made for children, if you have a YouTube channel, you know what I mean. They are allowed to come on here, and we don't want to say anything offensive. And a lot of people are talking about, their wee-wees and that kind of stuff. They're like, I don't know. They act like they're in the 3rd grade, but we don't want to talk away in case that people are here that are truly in the 3rd grade. So, yeah, a lot of the stupid stuff. If you want to say stupid stuff, you're welcome to go elsewhere. If you're searching for love in all the grinder places, I guess, I don't think you want to search the kind of leather underwear, dating site, men wear leather underpants, please elsewhere. Thank you. So right now we're on the freeway. If you don't know, here it's it's going to slow down. They just notified of, and then there was a 37-minute slowdown when I started, so we added that 6 minutes to it. 40 minutes there. It's probably 2.5 hours. They'd add 20 minutes and then take away 5 and that kind of stuff. So it said hi. Yeah, so anyway, if you want to say stupid stuff, you're in the wrong place, please. We don't have to be smart, but we don't have to be profane or talking dirty to children, if that's what you're really into. You need to go elsewhere. There's groups of people that will gladly entertain you in person if you wish to talk profane to children. They'll take care of you. I promise you. I know for a fact. I know people out there that would love the opportunity to have a conversation with you in person. So anyway, I got those two things in acting. Is anybody out here an actor? Last time we were on, we did talk about acting because we had actors on there. This time I was going to kind of gear it more towards weather because we're going to have storms coming in tomorrow evening going through to Tuesday, they're saying now. So we had the fires in January. That was an arsonist who set a fire January 1st, and then they didn't get all put out, and then after he did it, it spread later, and 13 people died, I guess. That might have been the Palisades one, not the one in our I think the one in Altadena was started by down power lines, and I think 3 people died up there. But, yeah,
There's a 10-minute slowdown in 2 miles. You're still on the best route.
It's always important to hear those to see how bad it's going to be. Yeah, never make plans. I when I work, I always get there really early because things like this can happen. You go on a 40-mile drive, and it'll take you 2.5 hours. When I first got a job, when I got out of the military, I was managing a restaurant in Westlake Village, and I lived in Pasadena. And people go, how far is that? It was about 45 miles, I guess. I think it's supposed to be 45 miles, 50. And then they said, it's about an hour drive, or 3 or 4. You just never know. So hopefully this will let up. I don't know where to go today. I just got to get ready tomorrow. Tomorrow's going to play a professor on a, I don't know if you can hear the air conditioner, but I just turned it. It's going to rain. It's not, that doesn't mean it's necessarily cold. I'm playing a professor tomorrow in a AI project. The project's not AI, it's a project about AI, artificial intelligence. But some of it's outside scenes, and so I don't know, are they going to scrub those scenes? We don't want to keep those on there. That's called a scrub. Or are they going to do that later, postpone that? Or can they move some of the dialogue and the scenes from outside inside? They might do like everybody's in the hallway versus outside in the quad or whatever. But he's a professor. That means it's high to talent powers. I may say your name's wrong. I really can't look at this. That would be a hazard. Once it rains, I don't know where you are, or anybody out here from Southern California, when it does rain here, the very first day or the very first hour or so that it rains, you got to be really, really careful because the oil on the freeways lifts up. And they say a lot of that stuff that is on there is not necessarily oil dripping out of the car. It is crude oil used to make the brake linings and the tires. So we put on our brakes, and then the tires might get a little skid or a little movement, and then they'll drop dust, and that's where we get a lot of those kind of things going on. But anyway, weather out here, we actually have weather. The old ladies, the old men sit around talking about the weather, and the old ladies there talking about the old men from the Randy Travis song. But yeah, so we got some acting going on. That's good. Health right now, good, smooth, knock on wood. But you never know when you have had as many health issues I have, how long the good times are going to go. Let the good times roll, I guess. But if something else happens, got to address it. A lot of people ask me, how do you handle this kind of stuff? Like when you first found out you were diabetic, I think the majority of us that are type 2 diabetic, we're heavy, and they tell us you're diabetic. You may not like it, but you're not necessarily surprised. It's kind of like, hello, diabetes, where you been? Where you been all my life, diabetes? Oh, I've been there. Yeah, I'm there. So, but anyway, doing a lot better, which is good. So, yes, people chimed on right away out here. I never know what time to go live. I'm just going live because I'm stuck in traffic. They say go live. I guess I can look that up. It's got to be something in the algorithm that'll tell me. It'll tell you the best time to publish that doesn't necessarily mean it's at the best time to go live. I don't know, but to go live at least once. It's 1 to 3 times a week is what we're supposed to do to go live on a channel my size. So I got another accolade, a thumbs up. I don't get one of those placards, but we've gone over 2.5 million views. So we have over 2.5 million. Will we get to 3 million views? Who knows? If you view things and I view things, and my grandma and mama, she's not around to do that. My Uncle Louie, I don't have Uncle Louie. But anyway, if somebody goes on and views, that number will go up. But during the glitch, the YouTube view glitch is going on. The view count glitch is going on. I was shadow banned, and they cannot figure out why. I don't have any violations. I don't have any copyright violations. I don't have any harassment violations. No gun talk, violence talk, nothing like that. They said we can't figure out why you're shadow banned, but you are. Yeah. So I was shadow banned, and also I guess in this shadow ban, I also lost subscribers. Not a lot, but I lost some subscribers. We have 15,800 subscribers, under 16,000. But I did have some bots. All channels are going to have some bots. Somebody's going to say, I know, I'll help this guy out. He's pretty nice. I'm going to add 2 bots. Or sometimes they'll think you're a bot. If you may watch this right now, now that we're going live, but then never come back on. So they'll think I put a bot on there or a fake person. And not necessarily a fake person, but a person that's really not involved. If I also get a whole bunch of subscribers, let's say from Brazil, I also get 200 from Brazil. Well, I don't know anyone in Brazil. Do they speak English? Are those English speakers? Are those people that are interested in things like weight loss, exercise, traffic, acting, kitties? They give me something, but what if they only like football or soccer, as we would call it in the United States? What if that's what they like, and there's nothing about football or soccer on my channel? The algorithm will pick that up and say, well, wait a minute, you got 200 views, 200 subscribers on Wednesday night at 6 o'clock Pacific. Why are they there? They think I bought them. I bought the bots. B-O-U-G-H-T space B-O-T-S. I bought bots, or they're fake people. So it's good to have people come on, and thank you for those of you I may never see again after right now. But thank you for coming on to the live. If you have any questions and I can read them, I'll try to answer. I'm not gonna say anything stupid and that kind of stuff. And please, please, I have no problems with that. That there are a lot of people that like others of the same sex. Those who prefer. What did Marge Simpson say? I think he prefers the company of young men, or something. The one where the Hartman was on there playing the gay guy. And there are a lot of people that are like that. If you are, I understand. I don't understand being that. I'm not really attracted to the same sex. I think I can tell you if someone's good looking. If someone says, hey, you think it's a good looking guy, and I look at what we classify as a good looking person here in the United States. When I was working with a group of people that were from some of our Latin American countries, they worked with me. I noticed that they are often attracted to very heavy women. That's fine. Should we get rid of this dumbass? I keep saying this thing. Ezra U2Q, whatever. Yeah, I can go and I can probably get rid of it. If we need to get rid of that person, let me know. We will do that. We'll block them. And I told you guys how to do it. If you want to block someone, keep them off. Get them investigated for using, harassment towards children. And they will sometimes get they'll get an investigation and keeps them away from your channel. Then they think, well, I better not do that again to David. He got me, 3 weeks in the YouTube jail, and I couldn't go and harass others on their channel. A lot of people are saying, hi, that's great. So about great show. Grandpa Joe, I don't know what that is about. I don't know who Joe is. So Cool. Yeah. But if anyone's doing any acting, looks like we got some acting coming back. Some of our runaway acting. I'm drinking coffee from Panera Bread. I finished drinking coffee from Panera Bread. Now I'll be drinking water from McDonald's. A lot of the McDonald's now have gotten rid of their drink stations. You know, they got rid of their bathrooms, and then now they're getting rid of the drink stations, the self-service stuff. So if you want to refill, you got to go up there. Usually we would refill some coffee. When I worked there as a kid, we would take the decanter of coffee and go out in the dining room and ask if anybody wanted a refill. If we knew we had some people out there drinking coffee, we'd do that. And we were young kids too, like 16, 17 years old. We did that on our own, just go out there and fill coffee. So now we're drinking water. It's water time. You know it's good water, or you're really thirsty when you drink it and you have to say, You can't drink it without saying, Right now, if anyone wants to know where we are on Lakewood Boulevard, freeway in Lakewood Boulevard, probably in Lakewood, California, near Lakewood, along to the beach. I went to Hermosa Beach. About to get some rain, Hermosa. I feel like metal detecting, but I did not. I decided to come home, and then I got that. Had I stayed right by the beach at Hermosa Beach, I would have gone metal. I would have metal detected today, because today's a good day to metal detect. Anytime there's a day after a holiday where people can still go to the beach, those are good. So if it's a summer holiday and it's a Monday holiday, and you go out on the Tuesday, usually pretty good. Today's Wednesday because we celebrate Veterans Day on the 11th. It's not necessarily a Monday holiday that, get the long weekend out here in the United States. Is everybody here from the U.S.? I don't know. Or not everybody. It's me and one other person. I am one other person. But right now, as we're doing, as you can probably tell, we're not going very fast. We are now going, we're under 5 miles an hour. I don't know exactly, because that's the first little notch on there. So I think what I'm going to do is I've been in traffic all day, and I did a blood draw. I think I'm going to go home and take a nap, even though I'll be getting home at 7 something. They said I'll be home at 7:05. Now it's at 7:07, so I only added 2 minutes, so they knew about this slowdown already, I guess. The freeway I'm on right now, I'm on the 405. Now, for those of you in Los Angeles, do you know the nickname for the 405 freeway? It's the parking lot. Yeah, 405 is we call it the parking lot, and that's the speed I'm driving right now on the freeway. I could be driving around looking for a parking spot in a parking lot. That would have been fine. I wouldn't be speeding or anything like that. So, then from here, my goal is to go. My goal is to go 405 to 605, and now it says the 605 is 3 miles from here. So, doing the speed we're doing now at 3 miles an hour, that'll be an hour from now. So hopefully it opens up pretty soon. We always complain about the traffic, right? With the weather and the traffic. We don't get much weather here in California, Southern California. So 3 or 4 days of rain is kind of a special fun time, and I will film that professor scene. Then I'll do the commercial, and then the other ones. I got basically 3 projects on right now, which are pretty good because we're heading into hiatus. In the old days before COVID and writer strike and SAG after strike, we had a set hiatus. Every winter we had a hiatus, which would usually be a couple days before Thanksgiving usually. So maybe Thanksgiving was on the 27th sometimes, maybe like the 23rd. And then we'd come back usually around the 7th of January. So that's a pretty long time, it's 3 days of November, 4 weeks or whatever of December, and then a week in January. So, and then during the summer we would shut down late May and usually come back like maybe early September. It's all of June, all of July, and then start September. So like 2 months, kind of like when you're in school. We get the 3 months for the summer and 2 or 3 weeks, and then they get longer for the winter. But they work a lot. People think, well, I saw them on set. They were only here for 7 hours. Yeah, but were they at home learning lines for, going through lines? They go through Did they go to the wardrobe? Did they have a wardrobe meeting? Did they have a table meeting, table read? Did they have to learn something in dialect? Did they have to learn swashbuckling, sword fighting? You never know. So it's not just the hours spent there. So I don't have a problem with it. I mean, I like to make money, so sometimes they're not working. That's why you always have a side hustle, a day job. Don't quit your day job. That's a theater thing, because most of the filming we do is daytime. So don't quit your night job. Someone's saying something here. Okay, let's get rid of that person, because he's obviously some kind of has a poop fetish. Sounds like he's a homosexual. Likes, probably there are some of these homosexual guys who really like to get into the poop stuff. They're into that. They like the scat, whatever. They like people to go poo poo on them. I guess this guy's that. And we removed him. So we got rid of old baked beans. He can go in and play with somebody else. So anyway, yeah, I'm just not homosexual, guys. I'm sorry for those of you that think I'm attractive. I guess think I'm cute. What a cute guy that guy is, or whatever. When I used to work in West Hollywood, one of my friends said to me there, "David, you're the nicest guy I've ever met, but if you were gay, you'd be a virgin." You'd be a virgin, because I just don't like gay. I'm not like Mr. Roger. A lot of these little macho guys, a lot of them, they used to come into our work down there on the border of West Hollywood. They were really buff and buff and tan and dyed blonde hair during the late 80s, early 90s, and all that. So yeah. Now this guy right here. This guy, see here, he's this DD guy, he's a homosexual too. I mean, we're not blocking them because they're gay. We're just blocking them because they're bothersome. Yeah, let's get rid of those people, huh? Yeah, someone's asking for somebody's pronouns. Yeah, this guy right here, once again, he's still chiming in. I think he should be gone. I removed him. Let's report him. Yeah. Oh, he's already gone. Yeah, anyway, that guy's gone too. A lot of these guys, they're that's what they want to do. Yeah, but anyway, yeah. So if you want to, there are channels for. I know there are. There has to be. There's channels for everything. There's furries if you're a furry. A lot of these gay guys. I also noticed a lot of the guys that do the bullying. I've noticed one thing common. I reported one to the sheriff's department, and they did get an investigation for some of the stuff they were saying about what they wanted to do with the president of the United States. It wasn't a gay thing. It was something else, totally different. Woo. And the sheriff's department said, well, he was giving us an excuse. He'd been molested, and here we are having this conversation. We're men talking about. We might have been talking about weapons or something. I can't remember. And he had been molested by his father and his uncle. That kind of pass him around, share him when he was a young lad. So most of them. So if you're doing this kind of stuff on here, it's likely your father or somebody did naughty to you, and it's a shame that happened. But that doesn't mean to come on my channel and do this. Say, I'm sorry that your dad did that to you, and no dad should do that. I don't really consider him a dad.
In 2 miles, take the I-605 north exit.
If you're a pedophile, you're a pedophile. But I don't think you can call you. I don't think you're allowed to say that. You shouldn't be allowed to say a person your dad or a dad, because they're really not. Something happened and a child was born, but it doesn't mean that person really should get kudos for being dad. As far as I'm concerned, you have your own opinion. So, being guy and gay guy, it was one that was here just now. L, yeah, that one. They most likely the victim of child molestation. Either they're 9 years old or they were. Because the things they say are so stupid and so juvenile. But anyway, that's fine. That's fine if that's what they want to do. But there's got to be a place for them to do that. It's just not here. It's not here. So, we do appreciate the fact that you came on, and thanks for joining us. Now, let's get ready. So, anyway, still in traffic. Some things never change. It said I'll be there at 7:04. We're now in Bellflower, California. But anyway, so it's slow churning here. We did go for a minute there. We did go up to 23 miles an hour. Now we're doing about 10. And I have my dome light on. In California, you're allowed to have your dome light as long as it's not distracting to you. Some people turn their light on, they'll start waving at the girl next to them in the car. Oh, hi there, hi. I thought, oh yeah, okay. Oh, now he's back. Yeah, it's not getting rid of this guy. This guy, I don't know why he's looking. Anyway, if anybody wants to have sex with that guy, will you please go ahead and do it? I guess that's what he wants. I don't know. Yeah. So anyway, that DHD, whatever, he's looking for love. So if you want to go and bounce around with him, that's what he likes doing. Yeah, he looks pretty stupid, isn't he, Elizabeth? I think something's not right with that guy, huh? Whoa, shit. Some guy just almost hit me. Okay, I hit him now, so he can. I think he's gonna think he's still on, and he can say whatever he wants. And of course, he'll probably get a new name and come back on. That's just what they like doing. You know, the guy who got visited by the sheriffs, he kind of changed his tune when he got a visitation. You know, when they knocked on your door and they said, "We'd like to talk to you about these comments," and they were. I did a screenshot in some of them, I think, or no, I just sent them the whole chat, and it said. You can click on you can see the comments that came in while this was live, I think it says, or it'll say, these are the first comments when this became live. That was when you make a new post. But, yeah, I don't know. I don't get it. We do have a lot of gay people out here, I'll tell you right now. Transsexuals, yeah. I've worked with some trannies. They call themselves trannies. They're perfectly nice. No problems. Just talking about, I think we were talking about football. One of them, he is male to female trans, I guess is what they say, and he's 6'6", 310 pounds. He's a big dude, a big whatever. We're talking about buying dresses for his size. I did a 5 nights at Freddy's thing where I wore a dress, and they just got the big woman's dress, the biggest woman's dress they can find. But for him, he has his clothes special made. He's like linebacker, big guy, or I don't know what he identifies as pronouns. So I'm not into that. People still ask us about pronouns and all that. Oh, someone said she was born intersex. Yeah, I have sisters that are twins. I don't know if they're unisex. I knew in school, of all things, it wasn't disclosed, but there was a guy that I knew who his mom would discuss with my mom, and I could hear them when they're in the other room about making certain decisions he would have to make, or that person would make, because they were called, do they still use this term, a hermaphrodite? A hermaphrodite, I guess they were born with both male and female genitalia. I don't know if they're both fully intact genitalia. It's so weird to begin these kind of conversations on my channel, because on your channel, it's a weight loss channel. It's really not. But
in a quarter mile, take the I-605 north exit.
We can talk about anything we want. But yeah, it's just when I heard the word intersex, I was thinking that's weird, because you don't really hear hermaphrodite that often anymore. Did we ever hear it that often? You know, being that I was a child, it doesn't come up in conversation that much.
Take the I-605 north exit, then use the left 2 lanes to take the I-605 north ramp.
It's gotta be cool. Well, one thing I don't know where you guys are. Some people are not very nice about letting you get over. They'll speed up and not let you get over. Yeah. You don't want to use profanity on your chat. You get kicked off of YouTube. But yeah, that one right there, all I had to do was slow down and let me in, or speed up enough to get around me, but they go just fast enough that I can't get in. They do it on purpose, I think. A lot of road rage out here and shooting, that kind of stuff, so you think they wouldn't do that. You know, so I don't know. But anyway, to the person that says that they're unisex, I'm like, that too. I mean, that's your private business. I mean, a lot of people ask a lot of questions they shouldn't necessarily ask. So we were talking about it. Where were we? Where were we before these guys? Yeah, here it's mostly just...
You're in a 24-minute slowdown on I-605 North.
Well,
You're still on the best route.
Some nights I'm flashing my lights to let somebody over. And I slowed my vehicle down. I flashed my lights at them and allowed them to go. I pull over for motorcycles that are... It's splitting lanes legal where you are. Here you can split lanes, but you're not supposed to go... I think you can't go faster than 10 miles an hour than the traffic you split. So right now I'm doing 5. They couldn't go more than 15. Well, I'm going now back to 1, which is a acting term. Back to 1. So,
use the left 2 lanes to take the I-605 North ramp.
I'm going to do just that. Now we're entering a new city. We are now in Norwalk, California. Norwalk, California. Anyone been to any of these towns? Lakewood, Norwalk. I think when I first got on the freeway, it was Inglewood. I was in Compton for a while, famous in songs. I was driving around Compton. I was the only white person I saw, but that's okay. Everybody was nice to me, and I was nice to them, and that's the way it should be. Did anybody celebrate Veterans Day yesterday? I'm a veteran. I did some celebrating, I guess. Ran around, got some free food. I have a card to get a free haircut. You turn it in, you get your free haircut. I always tip. If you're a veteran, make sure you tip these people. It's not cool.
Continue on I-605 North for 18 miles.
Also, another problem when you're in traffic like this, if you're diabetic and you're drinking water, sometimes it's not a good combination. You're like, let me off the freeway, I gotta go pee. And a lot of you you don't know. Like this drive that I'm doing right now. If I get there in an hour and a half, it should be about an hour, so that's actually 30 minutes. That'd be right at 7. And right now we just added another 7 minutes, 14 minutes. Yeah, we added 14 minutes. We're at 7:14 as a ETA, estimated time of arrival. Let's see how dark it is in here. Well, right now it's not too bad. I can turn that off. Well, it depends on how much other people's lights we get. Spooky. Yeah, so anyway, weather out here, acting out here. Yesterday was Veterans Day. Got Thanksgiving coming up. Anybody got some good special plans? People say, do you have special plans? Somebody says, do you have any plans? Are you going to eat turkey? Are you going to eat turkey? That's what we're getting. It's like kind of the one holiday we have in the United States where basically everybody eats the same thing, and they make videos of what they're eating too. Yeah, it was good we got rid of those people. Sometimes it's hard to get rid of them while you're driving. A lot of them, you'll say, like I said, I thought Trump was going to win in 2020. I said the next election, after he lost in 2020, I said, well, he'll be president again. No, he won't. Biden's going to win. No, Biden's not. I told him in 2020 he's not going to win a second term. I don't think he'll make it unscathed through his first term, and he really didn't. The British say he was the representative of the United States. They didn't really call him president. They said he was not running the country. The British were they just teasing us because we gave them a good old shellacking 2 times, the Revolutionary War, the War of 1812. I don't know. We fought side by side in World War I and World War II and the Gulf War and Korea. We've been palsy-wowsy ever since. But yeah, but I said that. Then all of a sudden, of course, I got, you're a pedophile because you love Trump. You are a racist. You love Trump. You're this. You love Trump. And so who says I love Trump just because I know Trump's gonna win? You might be the biggest Boston Celtics fan, and and is the Lakers are up 3-0 in a 7-game series. He said, I think the Lakers are going to win. Oh yeah, you're California fruits and nut fella, aren't you? I'm not even a Lakers fan. I'm whatever. I'm a Pistons fan. I just think that team's going to win. I don't have to necessarily like that team to think they're going to win. I don't like crawdads, but if you go to New Orleans, I can say I bet people are going to keep eating crawdads or crayfish, whatever they call them. That doesn't mean I necessarily like them, right? People are very stupid. A lot of stupid people. I'm sure by the time you meet one smart person, you're going to meet 10,000 dumb ones. So that's the ratio, I think. How many people are there in the United States? I don't know. But 10,000 dumb ones, I think is about right. Especially in political season. Yeah. We're getting onto the 605 freeway. I'm sure it hasn't. Well, the freeways have a nickname, like the 110 freeway is called the Pasadena Freeway, whatever, going that way, and then maybe the Hollywood. I don't know, but they have their own names. We say, oh, this is called the Golden State Freeway. This is called the whatever. And then people say, well, what do you mean Golden State? I only see a number. This was the 5 is called the Santa Ana Freeway. Sometimes you only know because you'll see it on the sign, but we don't really discuss freeway names. Right now we're getting onto the 605 South. Firestone is going that way. Boop, 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 boop. Firestone. I think we're going to go, we'll go 65 all the way up. That's the freeway that's right off from where I live. I live like right where the 605 and the 210 meet. The 210, that's the Foothill Freeway. I just don't know what the 605 is. I don't know a lot of the freeways. But you can tell that some of the neighborhoods you're going by, they have one of those flashing signs that changes, the different billboard, and it's been in Spanish. And now there's one for English, but they've all been in Spanish, but the one they're doing. So there's a heavy Spanish area right here, Lakewood Boulevard. We passed Norwalk. Okay, so so there's a Costco right there where we're going. I've worked in that Costco before. They filmed an episode of Betty White's show at one of the Costco's I was working in. I got to talk to Betty White some. She was nice. Do you guys like Betty White? Someone said something. How long have I been driving Uber? I don't drive Uber for passengers. I drive for Uber Eats. Are you an Uber driver of persons? I do drive Uber Courier, that new courier program they have. I did that today. But you never know. You know if you do it. You don't know. Are you going to be offered to pick up? We do multiple things now. We do where we pick up food, which we started food and taking it to people's houses. Then we added things like drugstores and grocery stores, and now we do everything. Walmart, we do Staples, whatever. Some that we have like a shop and deliver kind of thing where you use your card that's programmed in your phone, and you actually have the shop for you. Push a card around, and for those of you who don't know, the person writing me that probably does know. And then you do that. But I started with Uber. Well, I did start with Uber. Okay, Uber bought Postmates, but I'd already started with Uber. First one I did was Grubhub. I thought I need a job that has total flexibility where I can, you have a good job, and they say, I'm really actor friendly. So if you have an audition, you need to go. Let me know. We'll get you out there. And then we say, oh hey, today's Tuesday. On Friday, I got an audition. And I can't let you go this out. I'm sorry. Can I ask me to do another day because we need you that day. And then, if I get the role, I'm gonna film. I have to film the next Friday, 1 week. I can't get the job then either. So they say it's actor friendly to get actors to apply, especially things like like the demo reps. Hey, come over here and try this applesauce. This is the best applesauce you're ever gonna try. You're gonna love this applesauce. It's made with apples. They want that. They want you to be able to sell and engage the customer, but they don't want to give you any time off. So it's only actor friendly until you need a day off or a time off. Then it stops being actor friendly. It's actor friendly in name only, I guess is kind of you say. I'm trying to get on this lane. Yeah, sometimes if you can't get over, you just don't get over. Yeah, get off the freeway, and that's what's good about having the navigation systems. It's not as big of a deal as it used to be. You know, you're not on the side of the road holding a flashlight in your mouth and looking at a map. You can actually navigate back on. So now we're still on the 605. But okay, so the person was asking me, I wanted a totally flexible job, so I applied for Postmates, DoorDash, Grubhub. Postmates had the guy ride a bicycle doing a delivery, and I thought, whichever one hires me first, maybe I can work for more than one. I didn't know you could at the time. I thought you basically could only work for one company. So I started with Grubhub maybe about 8 years ago, maybe 9 years ago, and then from there, the next person to call me was DoorDash, and back then you had to go in person to training for both those two, and I did, and then I got Postmates, and then I got Uber. So I had all four, but I don't turn all four apps on the driver. And then for a while there I had Caviar. That's the best. Caviar was the best, but they're gone. Yeah, I guess they're gone because they were the best. I don't know. They're a little more expensive, but that was great. So, and also one thing about when you drive in LA, I don't know where you are, but you'll drive and they'll say that we're slowed down because there's an accident ahead. You never see the accident, you only see the traffic, you know. If you do see the accident, everybody's do the looky-loo thing and staring out the window, and it just makes it even slower. So if you've ever seen a tow truck hooking up a Toyota Corolla, don't look. You know, you've seen that before, I'm sure. You know, I saw a fire truck and I think it had lights on it. You know, yeah. The knock knock joke. You know, knock knock. Who's there? Isabel. Isabel who? Isabel really necessary on a fire truck? But we don't really have the ding 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 anymore. So we don't have bells on fire trucks. So some of those old jokes are probably obsolete. Right now, 605. We're on the 605, and I don't see its name. It just says Interstate 605. If you don't live out here, you probably see a lot of these freeways that I'm on right now. You'll see these in our high-speed chases. We have quite a few. I've had them going, like, I'll be driving along and just, you know, relaxing, you know, no traffic, nothing. And I look behind me and there's just tons and tons of emergency service lights, and I see a lot of swerving. I go, oh no, here comes one. It's going to be a high-speed chase. And they whip by you. Wow, this guy's actually moving. I have 3 people let me over. One person honked at me because I couldn't get over. So it's actually been okay. Okay, right now we come to Telegraph Road in Slauson. That means we're getting close to Santa Fe Springs. Now, why is Santa Fe Springs important? One of the veterans clinics is there. That's where I go to, and then I go to the Long Beach Hospital if I need to go be hospitalized, or to go to a specialty clinic like diabetes or podiatry. They go there, so it's kind of like your family doctor, and then you get sent to a specialist. Or you got to go to the hospital because you're sick or been hit by a car or something. I don't know. Does anybody out here work for Uber? I don't know. Some people. I did an Uber commercial. I don't know if you guys seen any of the Uber commercials, but the one I did was supposed to be a European. I'm a peon, we're all a peon. But they were all left side drive cars because we filmed it here, so they wouldn't really film us getting in or out of the car. We were just having like our dialogue or whatever facing the back of the car. They kind of made it, blocked it out so you couldn't see which side the steering wheel was on. That was fun. I was playing it was like a sidewalk cafe situation, and I was having a croissant. It was actually really good. Good croissant. You can eat the croissant. We got more. We find we like it if you want to pick up anything. Take a bite of the croissant, and it was delicious. And, you know, maybe really good butter. You know, whatever. I can't eat too many croissants. So a lot of times, if you can't eat things, you eat it on a commercial. It's like the best thing ever. But I was having coffee and little small cups of coffee. It was just regular coffee, but it wasn't making it look like, you know, some kind of a French coffee or whatever, Spanish or Italian or something. They had a little coffee where they turn it to the side, the little coffee thing like that. And had a croissant. I did an Uber commercial, And then some people I know say, I would never do an Uber commercial. I don't believe in that company. I said, I believe you. I believe you. I know. I believe that you'll never do one because they didn't ask you. You know, they said to the guy, hey man, you want to, or a couple people, hey, you want to be on a commercial? Yeah, it's for Uber. Oh, cool. I love Uber. The only reason you would not be on it is they didn't pick you. They picked me, you know, to be like a Pierre kind of, I don't know how to, trench coat. It was my own. I have a couple different trench coats. I used to do like some look-alike, like John Candy looks like with the, you know, khaki colored. Is khaki a color or is it a type of pants? I don't know, like the beige with the scarf hanging down this way, you know, kind of thing. Whoop. I did that, John Candy. Now I do more Danny DeVito. So I do Danny DeVito look-alike a lot. But they want to make people think not think it is Danny DeVito. It's obviously an actor portraying it. They'll have me seated, but if they want to be funny, they have me standing up because I'm about a foot taller than he is. You know. What is someone saying here? I don't know what that means. Anyway, this person is saying something stupid. I mean, saying something, if it ends up being something stupid, let me know. We'll get rid of that one too. It's weird. I wonder why they do that. Because they'll jump on, they'll say something stupid, we get rid of them right away. Usually we give them one or two breaks. You know, hey, kind of cross the line. And then, we just pass. There's the street right here is where the Santa Fe Springs thing is. But they'll jump on, they'll say they'll kick him off. And then you'll see them coming back with like the same name and another letter. Or, like their name is, my name is Gay Jelly Bean. Then they'll come back and they'll say Gay Jelly Bean 2 or something. It's probably the same person. Or maybe they have someone that's stalking them or something. I don't know. But anyway, so then they come back. Hey, I'm sorry, man. I should have said this. I said last time. I won't do it again. And then sometimes they're actually legit. They're okay. But I don't really get why I just hop on someone's thing and say something. And no one here that's talking out here or writing out here cares about the person that says that stuff. They're like, oh man, that's so clever. What? Are you gay? That's wow. Yeah. I've never heard of it before. That's so unique and so new and so cutting edge. Are you gay? Yeah, that's great, man. You're my hero. If you were here, I'd put you on my shoulders and walk around town and say, look at this guy, he's great. Nothing like that. The people that do it are usually sad to say they're a loser. And you're saying loser things, and then we losers get rid of them. I don't know, now we got someone else talking about gay. Everyone wants to be gay, I don't know. Which is fine. I mean, I don't know where you live. Is it okay to be gay? I mean, when I was a kid growing up, if you're in junior high, you can't really be a gay person. I knew people that everybody is gay. And then when you meet people back, I came back from the military. I met people and they go, hi David, my name is so-and-so. This is my partner, my life partner. And so you were gay. But if you say everybody's likely, one or two of them probably really are. But when you grow it up, it's kind of like an insult. People say you're gay, and then if you're an adult and you're calling people gay, you're probably either you are gay, or you're just a dumbass. So take your pick. That's what I think. That's my thoughts at least. I worked on one project, and we were it was a library scene, and I'd pushing out things and singing the books and. Oh, you're done with that book, John? Thank you. And I go but it's all in a hushed tone because you're in a library, and every single guy there was gay but me. So there's a high percentage of people that are gay. People that cut hair and style hair, a lot of them, if they're male, they're gay. We don't care. We just don't care. If you get an opportunity to do some acting, and the people are gay, they're gay. Who cares? So I said, I wouldn't work with that guy. That actor, he's gay. Well. A lot of the actors that you think are not gay, guess what? They're gay. There could be something you think are gay, and they're not gay. I don't know. Everybody says, Tom Cruise, he's gay. John Travolta, he's gay. George Clooney, he's gay. Will Smith, he's gay. Who cares? Who cares? If you work at Wendy's and you're on the fry station and Johnny, who's on drive-thru, he's gay. are you gonna care? Or who cares? Nobody cares. So when you say things like that, it just makes you look. It doesn't make you look stupid. It shows us just how stupid you really are. So right now, Whittier, California. We're going through Whittier, California. I'm supposed to be home at 7:14. It's now 6:41 here Pacific time. I don't know where you are, but 6:41 Pacific. We don't have any long form videos coming out because of the glitch. If they do fix the glitch, then maybe we'll come out with a long form video just to test it on the 13th. That's 10 days from when I discovered I was being shadow banned, and I stopped making long videos. I don't have any long videos on there that are new from that day forward. I forgot I was going to change the thumbnail while I was driving. I made a new thumbnail for going live, so I'm not sure which thumbnail will show on this once I finish it. I don't know. We're about to go through where the Rose Hills thing is. Okay, someone's giving us a lecture about being gay. That's exactly what we're saying, whoever that is. There's a lot of gays. A lot of people do not like gay people. They just don't like it. I don't know. The same one reason that Kamala Harris had so much problems is she selected a gay running mate, Tim Walz. They used to call him Sergeant Don't Tell when he was in the Army Reserves because he's a homosexual. I don't care if he's gay or not. They say Obama, homosexual. I don't know. They say Thomas Jefferson, homosexual. I don't care. I just don't care. I don't have enough time to worry about what people do in their sexual leisure. If I get a chance to do some acting and everybody's gay, it's okay. You know, the guy from the Hells Angels is flipping people off here. Whenever that kind of thing happens, I kind of go back a little bit, because if there's a 1%er or whatever, with a patch 1%er in there flipping somebody off, and that person in the truck is yelling something, I don't know, I kind of slow it down because it could be flying lead. Nowadays, we always say flying lead, but a lot of times the projectile is not lead due to the fact that we don't want to poison the environment. They always joke about, oh no, be careful, you might die of lead poisoning, and someone will have a pistol. I don't know. And I guess pencils are made with graphite, and I don't know, is that lead? So now we're coming to Beverly Boulevard. We're going to be getting into like El Monte area. We're getting pretty close now. If your house smells, you can smell it from here, right? My house is a condominium. I have kittens, it might smell, but I can't smell them. Say if your cat gets lost, take the cat box outside the door. They'll smell the cat box. Going to Peck Road. Peck Road is a pretty long road. It does go into Monrovia, but it's pretty long, So I live in Monrovia, California, right on the border of Milwaukee, California. Some people don't like where I live. I don't care. I don't like lots of things, I don't like salmon. Some people love salmon. People, you eat salmon. Salmon's really good for you. It's great. A lot of things are really good for me. I don't eat. Obviously, a lot of us that have medical problems due to weight a lot of things we probably shouldn't have eaten. Okay, that one that went by is not a patched gang member. It was just someone on a loud Harley Davidson. There was a group of bikers. I don't want to give any kudos to their name, but they had a cool biker name, and they did have the 1% on their front of their vest. And I was driving my classic car, and they were telling me pull over like this. So there's quite a few of them. There was like 4 or 5 in front of me, and then 2 to my left, none to my right, because that's where they want me to pull over. And some behind me like, pull over. And I go, no, is my gas cap not on, or are they going to shoot me? A lot of things go through your mind, because there's a lot of them. They're loud motorcycles. Do I have something in my car to help me protect me from naughty? Maybe. Am I allowed to carry something like that? Sometimes, depends on what I'm doing. If I used to work as a courier for the military, and I would travel around with documentation that required me to carry forms of protection. And so I said, well, I'm in my classic car, right in the middle of the highway, in the middle of the day. It's not like I'm going to hand them my keys and just start walking. And they said, did they steal your classic car? No, I gave it to them. So I didn't think it'd be necessarily as I pull over the guy. You know, they all line up like in front of me, boop, 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 on the side of the road, and then come behind me off the highway. And then one of the guys said to me, "Is she a 73?" And I said, "Oh yes, she sure is." He goes, "Yeah, I thought she was 73. The long line 73. They only made her 2 years." He goes, "This is called the Sun Coupe. It's a Cutlass Model S. Beautiful, beautiful. You know, this is a beautiful car." And I said, "Well, she's kind of a 10-footer, don't you think?" He goes, "No, that car's a 4-footer, meaning that at 10-footer is like if you're 10 foot away, she looks perfect. He thinks she looks for about 4 feet." And he goes, the wheels, like Camaro?" And I said, "Yep, Camaro about 75, which makes sense. If she's a 73, I could have replaced her with 75s. But if you know, if the car is, you know, hasn't been out yet, if those wheels weren't out yet, it wouldn't make any sense. You know, how could that be?" And so she doesn't look like she's fresh off the line. He said, "Can I look at her?" I said, "Yeah, sure." And he came in, he put the hood, he popped the trunk, you know, from inside. He goes, "My dad had one, and my grandpa owned a dealership, and he told my dad, if you get whatever his job was, we'll celebrate and get you a new one." He had a blue, real shiny blue. I said, "Yeah, I've seen them with almost like that high shine, high gloss, almost like a blue foil almost." He said, "Yeah, exactly, that's blue foil, yeah." I tell people it's like a shiny blue and they can't figure it out. Yeah, it's like if you have a little bit of foil, but instead of being silver, it's blue. You're exactly right. And he says, "This car's great." I said, "Well, yeah, I used her in the movies." And he goes, "What's her name?" "Her name's Willow." "Oh, it's a great name. That's a great name for a car." "Why Willow?" And I said, "Well, we had a big cat, and her name was Willow." And I was holding the big cat. She was very, very overweight. We had to gradually take her weight off, and we were at the vet, and I'm holding her, and there was a office cat. And I said, "Be careful, this office cat does bite." You would think they wouldn't have them out, but the office cat walked down like when you have like a desk and a cubicle, but the cubicle's no taller than the desk, so you can talk to people. It was walking, and it hissed and put its hand up like it was going to bite me or hit me, and she whacked that cat so hard, literally his head spun like the poltergeist. I mean, like the Exorcist, or whatever. The head spins, and what was that, Carrie, one of the horror films, and slapped the daylight out, knocked the taste out of that cat's mouth, and the cat was like, "Whoa!" And he said it didn't hiss or even go close to anybody. And kind of looked around the corner before he came out. He was a big male Maine Coon, but she just slapped him in the head. And so she would purr, and she would purr so loud it would shake a box. Like if she's in a box, you could tell which box she would be purring. And when you pet her, then the box, you can see it shaking. And he's, "Oh, that's a good name." And we just had a conversation because we shared that kind of a thing. But if I do see people arguing and maybe they're patched up, or if they're wearing colors of like a street gang kind of thing, kind of back up. You back up a little bit. You got to know where you're going. Right now, you're not gonna believe this: 65 miles an hour. So I went from about to go to 0 again. As you probably well know, when you're stuck in traffic and you're doing 2 miles an hour, then 5 miles an hour, the same batch of people, and then it opens up to 65. Everybody starts taking off, and they're not really paying attention because they're used to driving 2 miles an hour, and then there'll be a secondary accident. You have accident, then no accident, then accident. We get that a lot out here. I'm sure you do as well. Lots of people live out here. A lot of people live in California. Right now we are getting through El Monte area. It looks like we're right on the border, and so it'll go El Monte. 2 words, ELMONTE. What's it mean? I don't know. And then we'll go a little further, and we'll be on the Irwindale will be on this side, Monrovia or Doherty on this side, and that's where I live. Someone said something. Let's see. No intermittent fasting for me. No bread. I have gone no bread. I do now. I usually will eat low carb tortillas. In fact, I bought some low carb tortillas because if I do make a long form video again, I was telling people earlier that I'm shadow banned. If the shadow ban does lift, I may do that. Someone wanted me to do a video about she says I saved the guy's life. Not really. I convinced him that, hey, let's get off this bridge and not jump. So did I save his life? I don't know. It wasn't like he was jumping. I grabbed him by his waistband of his Fruit of the Looms and pulled it back up. No, it wasn't that drastic. It was just a conversation that ended up, and I found out now, I don't know, 20 years later, he's still alive, so that's good. Or I'll do one about making burritos. If you go back that way onto my channel, you'll see a playlist of low carb things I make. I use tortillas more than bread. I do like some of the breads. There is one bread I have, a sourdough bread, keto sourdough bread. I made some patty melts on regular. They couldn't find the sourdough one, but the sourdough one is really, really good. Some breads you can tell the difference. You got like kind of a little, the flour is different. And I talk about that a lot on the channel. Sometimes things, if it's made to be keto or made to be low carb, you can really taste that. You can taste like maybe the almond flour, the stevia, or some kind of like Splenda or something, or monk fruit. You can taste that. But if it's just a product where they use really high fiber, low carb ingredients that are in regular food, sometimes you can't even tell the difference. So I said something else. Spelt bread, I've heard about that. I don't know if I've ever used it. How about concentrating on what you put in your mouth? I don't know what that says. If they're talking about me, yeah, sure, why not? I don't really concentrate, I just eat. Oh boy, let me concentrate on this. Wow, look at this. What is this? Oh, some kind of a cluster of fruit. What do they call these again? Grapes. Grapes. Yeah, let me concentrate on that. Let me see if I can. That's beautiful. Beautiful. It's great. Yeah, I don't eat much fruit. Do you eat fruit? They always say if you're on a diet, eat lots of fruits and vegetables. Well, the kind of diet I need, personally, very low amounts of fruit. Watermelon, a little bit. Strawberries, a little bit. That's about it for me on fruit. Vegetables, a lot of the Atkins stuff when it first came out, no vegetable. It was just meat. There's a carnivore diet now, but I think some people, they're doing like a really strict carnivore. They don't eat any vegetables either. Keto, there's keto, dirty keto, there's this keto, this kind of low carb. Gotta eat. Everybody's on a diet. The whole world is on a diet. If you eat food, you're on a diet. If you try to lose weight, diet. Try to gain weight, diet. Trying to lower your cholesterol, diet. We're all on a diet. Right now, we are entering into Irwindale. A little further that way, we'll be in Azusa, California. AZ, USA. Arizona, USA. I went to Azusa Pacific University, APU. University. People eat out of habit, don't think. Yeah, you're right. And also comfort food. Why do they call it comfort food? It's yummy. It's comforting. And I try to find, if you go back in that way, you'll see some of the low carb stuff. I try to find a way to still enjoy some of those things. I made, of all things, gravy, roast beef. Shit. Go. Come on, dumbass. You gotta sometimes use profanity when they just stop in front of you. They joke about the Asians doing that. Just stop. They want to get into the lane here where I would just keep driving. They stop. Get that lane. Not to say anything mean as you say something mean, but people say that they call it Chinese something. I can't remember the name for that. But you'll see a lot of these like Asian driver, or sorry I drive like an Asian. I just flash and let somebody come over, and then he don't want to die. Does want to go. A lot of things that on the road. Okay, some of SpongeBob, I guess, I don't know. But anyway, I'm not really ever into SpongeBob. I'm too old. I barely. I like The Simpsons. I used to really like that. King of the Hill. Some of the older animation type stuff. A lot of animation really taking a lot. With AI, I think animation really can do a lot of stuff, that we weren't able to do before. A lot of AI stuff. AI has gone into acting. We also have vertical, where we don't film this way. Horizontal, we film this way because it fits better on the phone. So it's called vertical content. I do that, and I'm working in some AI. There's some AI stuff on my channel, just basically where it'll make recommendations for, hey, have you thought your title is this? What about this? And they'll make suggestions, and sometimes they're pretty good. They're pretty good, and it bases it on all the different varieties of things you can say or do on there. So anyway, I think I'm gonna log off here. Okay, so whoever SpongeBob is, I'm glad you have things to say. Everybody have a great night. I am now at Live Oak, which does run from like City Industry and all the way into Arcadia. So I think we go. Take care. Have a great night.